Good morning, guys. Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Theo, how do you do it? It's a question I've gotten quite a few times lately, by clients or people just reaching out on Instagram or email about whatever uncommon sense related thing, that they find themselves unable to do, that I just keep doing all the time. So, questions like these fasts. I've been trying to fast, but I can't go longer than a day. And how can you do them? And especially being so lean, it just seems so easy for you, these dry fasts, dopamine fasts. How do you do it? Or how can you be so brutal in the gym? When I'm motivated and certain workouts, I can smash it, but I will lose it at some point. How can you always do that? And when you always do that, how can you find it in you to go outside and do these things like burpees that I've seen on your Instagram that you do? The cold showers. I can't stand the cold. How you do that every day? And this one too. How can you stay Volcel for almost 5 years when you look the way you do and you live in Sweden and I'm having troubles, and in your position it would be impossible for me. How do you do it? And guys, I think a lot about when people bring me stuff like this, because I am a coach and teacher, and I know that the things I'm able to do now, I once really could. I struggled just as much. So clearly, I could go from being unable to being able to. What is it? What's the difference here? What does this person need to know? But in the end, do you know what the difference between me and the person that, for instance, couldn't fast for the amount of days they said they would? The difference is that I just do it. I just do the thing, right? Doing the thing is all you have to do. And I think it is because of the life experiences I've had that I realized that I have agency. I have a choice. Even when it's difficult, challenging, I couldn't go about it exactly the way I want, or even not at all. In the end, that a choice is difficult, that a task is difficult, does not mean that it is impossible, all right? So the great slogan of Nike is just what goes in the end. Just do it. Just do the thing. And the thing is, guys, many of you want to analyze so much. Why is it? Why can't I do this? And when I do this, then I can, but then da. And look, guys, I always say that understanding yourself is part of it. The better you understand yourself, it doesn't make it easy, but if you understand your patterns and mechanisms, it's going to be easier to change that. However, there comes a time when we gotta stop analyzing what happened in your childhood, and just do the thing. Okay, we get it now. You developed certain mechanisms from your childhood. All right, that makes this and this difficult and challenging for you. Now we know that. Are we just gonna sit and analyze, keep talking about why the thing is so challenging and difficult for you? Or are we gonna do things differently? You see, guys, while it helps to understand the way you are, how you function, and that in order to change, it is not necessary, right? There's a fly popped right into, I don't know if that sound is picked up on it, popped right into the camera. No, but there's a saying that life can only be lived forwards, but only understood backwards, right? And so, sometimes you understand things backwards and then that influences how you go about forward. But many times it's when you went forward, it's now I get it. So in my case here with the panic attacks, and it's that, for those that don't know, I had daily panic attack syndrome. That's how all of this started. I was thrown into hell, 4 months of daily panic attacks. Were so brutal, most intense thing I ever felt. The least agency I ever felt over my life, because my entire meat suit here could just freak the hell out. And I felt like I had so little control of what was going on. Still though, clearly, I could, by just doing the thing I had to do, facing these situations that gave me panic, I could overcome it. And look, guys, while this was going on, I could put a little bit together, okay, I've not been doing well for a long time. I definitely have struggled with my mental health. I've felt I'm in a poor shape, even physically. I'm understanding some things of what's going on here, but it was not until I had done the thing, because we gotta realize, guys, maybe it would help me to understand why I started having these panic attacks, but really the situation I have here is I have panic attacks and I don't want them anymore, and it is quite obvious that some kind of exposure therapy is what I have to do. So you see, I don't have to understand so much about why this is happening, I just have to do the thing. Expose myself to the panic, rewire my nervous system so that these situations aren't triggering anymore. Over time, teach my nervous system that, hey, these situations that you freak out in, there's no need for that, right? So you see, I don't need to know where I'm coming from, but however, coming out on the other end of that, now when I felt completely differently, I could see that, okay, I had this deep-seated fear of abandonment, that if I show myself at my weakest, like when I had the panic attacks, and make a complete fool of myself in front of people the way I feel I do when I'm just freaking out, a completely mundane situation for no reason, they will reject me and leave me. That was a huge fear I had, and I realize now how that has held me back on so many levels in my entire life. But you see, I did not even have to know that in order to overcome a big chunk of it. Just doing the thing was all I had to do. And so, guys, that's when I started training then, for the same reason, or like, okay, I'm so happy I overcame this panic attack situation that I never thought. I gotta give this with just a healthier lifestyle a go. And so I just improve my diet, just eat less junk and pretty basic food, And I start doing these short strength workouts every other day. And so fast, I noticed that I was feeling differently, so I knew this was the way to go, but that didn't just make it easy, I wanted to run from the workouts every time, I put off until later in the day. After I'd done a set, I would find reasons to put off the next set. I did not want to do the thing. I felt all the resistance, but I knew that in order now for my health goals, but also because I started a little further in noticing these physique changes, I decided that, I want to be ripped. I want to look the way I do now, just like then. I didn't know where I would get so far, but a smaller version of my current self. That was kind of what I visualized. And I just realized what I have to do is the thing. I have to keep training, I have to keep pushing myself harder over time. I need to take on more. I'm going to have to stay on point enough with my diet. This alcohol I've been drinking, I gotta have to do it less, right? And guys, that so many times I didn't want to work out. So many times I want to eat some crap. And yes, I'm not gonna stand here and say I was perfect, especially back then. I'm not now either, But overwhelmingly, in the end, I just did the thing of either pushing myself to just do this workout or just keeping myself away from eating in the evening, so that I can go to sleep. And I'm moving on towards my goals, right? And it's like, sometimes I think about it, just do the thing. It's like it's this non-negotiable mindset. There are so many things that goes into this, guys. Like, this could be such a long video, but like the non-negotiable expression that I got from my former coach, Wes Watson, it is really just that you've decided that some things are non-negotiable. Okay, they just happen. Does not matter how I feel or anything like that. It must happen. And the more you embrace that some things are non-negotiable, the more efficient you will be. A lot of people, they waste so much energy on their overthinking, going back and forth. Oh, should I eat or not? No, I should stick to my diet. Oh, I should eat. You waste so much energy on that. But the more and more you decide that something is non-negotiable, you can just, as soon as you notice that inner negotiation process, like, we can skip today, or maybe it's okay if I eat this today or whatever, just shut it down. Nope, non-negotiable, And in the same way, you can auto-suggest actions, like not taking an action of like eating, for instance, but it's like cold showers in the morning. I take cold showers every morning, and it's because I'm training my ability to just do a thing when I feel resistance. But sometimes I might not be entirely present in the moment, and I just catch myself that I've been standing outside the cold shower, and I'm putting it off somehow. As soon as I catch myself, it's like auto-suggest, boom, move in the cold shower, right? And so this is a behavior that can be cultivated, right? It's not because I tell you now that you will use, I will just auto-suggest, I will just tell myself to do the thing in the moment. But gradually you start doing that more and more. The same thing with the fasts, guys. I've auto-suggested myself so many times that, no, you're not hungry. No, you're just fasted. You're feeling fasted, you know. And so I've done it so much that I literally think quite little about eating during a fast at the time. But if I do, the dopamine fast I did, don't you think I wanted to drink? It was hot as hell outside, and I was away from my stimulants that are even more difficult for me. Don't you think that I want to do it? The thing is, though, I've decided that I'm fasting. I know I'm going to be in for hell. Just doing the thing, just getting through it is all I have to do. It's non-negotiable. Doesn't matter that I want to feel blah, 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 blah. This is not a permanent situation. All I have to do is get through it, and then I'm done. That's all there is to it. So guys, look, I'm talking about how you have to go about it, but it's cultivated, a way of being. It's discipline, you know. Discipline is part of the mindset, and discipline is like a muscle. That's what I mean with this auto-suggestion, just breaking sequence and doing something. It's something you train yourself into being able to do. But there are many other tools you can use to just make the thing happen. You know, when we're talking about fasting in particular, I want you to understand, I'm just using some examples here, but it can go for anything. But with fasting, a great concept from the snake diet that I of course learned a lot about fasting from when I started is the accountability post. You know, there's a Facebook group, the Snake Diet Motivation Facebook group, and if you want to be coached by Cole, you can do it or just for yourself too, but you have to post pictures of yourself and say your weight and what you're doing, you know. Because, you know, now you get that external accountability, and for me it works great, you know. The times when fasting was more difficult for me, what I would do, I posted in that group, and I would always tell you guys that, here that I'm doing it, and maybe even make videos during and stuff. Like, I would be so embarrassed over myself if, like, there's one thing if there's some, like, accident or, like, actual valid reason to break the fast that wasn't just like, oh, I was just a pussy and ended up eating when I shouldn't, you know. I would be so embarrassed to come and tell you guys, even worse, that I'm supposed to lie and pretend, oh, I just did the fast, guys, knowing that I didn't. It's too embarrassing. So I use that accountability, right? And it's great telling people what you're going to do. Some people are like, no, work in silence. Don't go talking loud about what you'll do. Now, like, talk loudly about what you'll do. Make yourself do it that way. Of course, some people probably have to learn to keep their mouth shut because they keep saying they're going to do stuff and they don't. But if you aren't that kind of person, especially, that's a great way. That external, like, even if you're not going to do a Facebook post or YouTube videos, tell people what you're doing. Tell them, like, check in on me, how I'm doing, you know. And so you have to meet that embarrassment otherwise. But guys, really, auto-suggesting, just doing the thing over and over and over, and because you start noticing this, the non-negotiable, you like start noticing this negotiation. Someone who's on a diet, for instance, and they feel like eating something, it's never, I mean, they know that they're sticking to like an eating plan with meals, counting calories and stuff. They know they're not supposed to eat some crap. So they're not going to be just like, oh, I'm just going to eat and I don't think about it at all. You're going to sit like, oh, it would be good to have that cake, but oh, I shouldn't. But on the other hand, yeah, I have been good today. And maybe if I do that tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. Like all that crap, that always happens before you go against anything you need to do. But guys, the last things I want to say, what I also learned, apart from learning that when I was in the spot, when I felt like I had the least agency ever, that panic attack state, clearly I had choice. I had agency to take actions to change my life. So that's how I understood that many other things that are difficult and I feel resistance towards, of course I can do them, but also part of that I ended up where I did, that rock bottom in my life, was that I didn't go for the things I wanted in this life. I let fears hold me back, right? And I didn't take charge over my life. I didn't create and build the life I wanted. I didn't go for what I truly wanted in this life out of fear and comfort, you know, just that. And now that I've seen that everything I have always wanted and so much more is available to me, well, I know that if I don't get what I want in this life, it's completely and entirely my fault. If I become a skinny fat little bitch, weak ass motherfucker, it's all due to me being that, you know. All the things, you know, YouTube channel, running my business, building a community with you guys, having influence, being able to make a living from this, hopefully meeting a beautiful girl, like not just looks-wise, the girl to team up with and have a family, all these things, guys. Well, the last thing is just that would depend. You have to meet the right person. I don't think you should force being with the wrong person. But like, if the right person is out there, I'm sure as hell's not going to be that I don't end up with them because I didn't work hard enough on myself, you know. That's my last thing, guys. What I always come to when I really, really feel like caving in to something, you know, is like, well, then it's my fault that I'm losing the game. And I'm just not going to be at the end. That's what I decided after this panic attack thing, when I realized all this, that I'm just not going to stand there at the end of my life and be like, wow, I didn't do, or I don't even know if I could have gotten what I wanted out of this life because I never went for it, you know. I'm gonna be there and be like, yes, I got everything I wanted, maybe even more. And some things that I thought I wanted, I found out I couldn't, or that I didn't really want to. So I at least have peace of mind that I know I have the answers, right? Just doing the thing, guys. You have one life, one life. Are you gonna choose comfort and safety, or are you gonna choose to just do whatever it takes to get what you want out of this life? Because you can. Difficult, challenging, feeling resistance does not equal impossible. In fact, it's all extremely possible. All you have to do is it. So please, guys, like and comment. Very interested to hear your thoughts, as always. And it helps. The algorithm helps more people find their way here. So it's very much appreciated. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching, body, mind, and soul. Fitness, nutrition, mindset, getting jacked and stacked mentally, physically, spiritually. So if you are interested, you can send me a DM on Instagram or email me. It's in the description below. I'll get back to you, tell you about my different programs. I do single consultations too, by the way, guys, I should say. You can pick up my bodybuilding book to support me, and it's written so you kind of have a bodybuilding coach along with you in the book. And you can become a member of the channel or a Patreon, or leave a little super thanks comment to just support me and my content. Very much appreciated, guys. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. Just do it. Great slogan. I'm not a huge fan of Nike, but the slogan. The thing, that's what you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Peace.